everyone, and welcome to a brand new series here on the channel called Simple Empires. The rules for Simple Empires are, well, pretty simple. We're going to pick a nation at random, buff its economy and military, and then create an empire for the nation. Multinational alliances like NATO, CISTO, the EU, and the UN will not be a thing in these videos. Basically, we're throwing realism and the scripts out the window, all for some good, clean empire creation. Now, normally I would choose my nation at random, but I wanted to start this series with a bang. And so today, we're going to be looking at a scenario where Turkey forms an empire. Let's get to it. Okay, so we've now colored Turkey red, and that's mainly just because it's going to be the nation doing most of the attacking in this video. Also, like I said, we need to buff this nation's economy and military, and there it is. It's buffed. It's better. Everything about it. There you go. That's what I mean by buffing the military and the economy. Even though Turkey already has a pretty good economy and pretty good military, just consider it to be like one of the best in, even better than it is today. All right, so it's time to find Turkey's first victim, and I think that victim is going to be Syria. So the current situation in Syria is kind of weird. Right now in January 2025, the Assad government has fallen, and basically there's three groups that control Syrian territory. In blue is the transitional government, in yellow are the Kurds, and in green it's called the Syrian National Army. And the Syrian National Army are basically Turkish mercenaries and militias that are there trying to eliminate the Kurds from Rojava. So we need to kind of do something with that. And I think the best thing to do is just to go ahead and give over all the SNA and treat them like they are the Turks. Because they are doing their bidding. And the first thing that these guys are going to do is they're going to go and they're going to cross over into Rojava, cross the Euphrates, and they're just going to take over all these towns up and down the Euphrates River, like so. Even though these guys are supported by the US, I don't see Trump wanting to continue to utilize these guys if he doesn't have to, especially not when he's going to risk relations with Turkey. So he's just we're going to keep taking all that out until the Kurdish forces is wiped out. Now, after that's done, normally Turkey would call this all complete, but they're going to say, you know what, we want all of Syria. So they're just going to go ahead and take over all of Idlib and take the coast while they're at it, while working down some of the main highways. They're going to push down into Homs and Hama over here, and then push out of Deir ez-Zor all the way over here to Palmyra and continue their connection, pretty much taking Aleppo and all in the process. They're then going to push on down to Damascus and take where all the population is, forcing the new Syria to capitulate. With Syria capitulated, Turkey is then going to annex all of the rest of Syria for itself, and it's going to see its first conquest in the region. After taking Syria, Turkey is going to look to the east for more territory to grab, and it's going to see the nation of Armenia. Now, Armenia has always kind of been a thorn in its side, and it separates it from other Turkish lands of Azerbaijan. So it's going to call in its buddy Azerbaijan to help in this war. And really and truthfully, the Azerbaijani people have very little chance of stopping this. Turkey and Azerbaijan are really just way more overpowered when combined, and they're going to take their territory for themselves. Now, in the peace deal, Turkey is going to take all of Armenia, and it's also going to unify with Azerbaijan, because there's really no reason for these guys to be two separate nations now that they control the territory in between. And Turkey is looking really good right off the bat. It's already touching the Caspian, it's touching the Black Sea, the Mediterranean, and it's doing quite a bit of expansion. Now, following the wipeout of Armenia, two nations really did not like that, and those two nations are going to be Bulgaria and Greece. Both of them are pretty good friends with Armenia, considering the Armenian diaspora in both nations. And they're going to say, hey, we didn't really like that. And Turkey's going to tell them, well, you can just catch these hands, which is what's about to happen. As the war starts with Bulgaria and Greece, Turkey's going to focus first on invading these islands in the Aegean, including Crete, and taking that whole entire island for itself. Meanwhile, the Bulgarians and the Greeks are going to push into start pushing into the Dardanelles and start pushing straight towards Istanbul. But they're going to get stopped at the city gates. Turkey's then going to push them back all the way to their original borders, and then push them across the border in their own nations, and start pushing along the Aegean to knock out lots of the little Greek section here in the east. They push into Bulgaria and Greece, but neither nation can really take them on. They take Thessalonica and then cut off the Greeks from the Bulgarians before they also push up and take Sofia. With Sofia taken, Bulgaria capitulates as they're unable to fight the war any longer, and the Turks continue their fight across the Greek peninsula pushing further and further south, just wiping away the Greek troops as they do so. They are completely and utterly outmatched all the way until they get to Athens. Turkey takes Athens, and Greece surrenders to Turkey. In the peace deal, Turkey takes all of Greece, most of the Aegean islands, as well as all of Bulgaria and northern Greece, while Greece is just left to this little rump state around Athens and Sparta. Turkey sends ultimatums to North Macedonia, Albania, and Kosovo, telling that they either need to join or they will die, and all three agree. With its conquest in the west now done, Turkey returns back to the Middle East, where it sees other things that it wants to take. Primarily, it's going to go after Lebanon and Jordan. Turkish forces run into Lebanon and really have no trouble facing off against the Lebanese troops here and pacifying the entire region. They also invade into Jordan along the southern border that was once Syria, pushing in far enough to take Amman and other parts of the nation. Without much else that can be held, the Jordanians fall and decide to capitulate. Turkey takes both regions and annexes it into the empire, and also signs a deal with Israel, letting them know that they have no desire on Israeli lands or to mess with anything in the West Bank or Gaza. They have pretty much secured what they wanted on that border, and they won't be coming back. Turkey then turns its attention to the Cypriot problem down here on Cyprus, where they have the northern Turkish Republic of Cyprus here, and they need to finish off the island so that they can take it. They basically tell everybody in the world that this is their island and that they're going to finish what they started. They're just going to come through and run through the entire island, being careful not to kick around any of the foreign business there. They do take the rest of the island and annex it for themselves. Around this time, the Kurdish situation, southeastern Turkey, is starting to become a huge problem, and Turkey realizes that funding is coming across from Iraqi Kurdistan. In order to take care of this problem, they're going to have to go in and pacify Iraqi Kurdistan, so they declare war on Iraq and decide to go in. They attack from the north, which is mainly along the Tigris River, and continue pushing south as they take Erbil and other areas of Kurdistan in this area. A lot of war crimes are occurring as they do this. They're going to continue pushing south along the river until they get to Baghdad. They take Baghdad and then realize that they're going to have to continue pacifying more of the region. So they continue pressing south as they continue taking the rest of the river valley. At this point, they're going to have to do some more spreading out as they start taking out the last little bits of Kurdistan in the northeast. And with the majority of Iraq's population taken, the nation does then capitulate, and Turkey decides to take the entirety of Iraq into itself. As Turkey is now probably the most dominant power in the Middle East, it forms friendships with Egypt and Saudi Arabia, but the same friendships are not held with Iran. Turkey decides to declare war on Iran and launches a spearhead into the south where most of the oil is, as well as in the north up here south of where Azerbaijan was. The fighting is very, very difficult for both sides, but it's clear that Turkey has the upper hand along the entire point. They slowly start taking more and more of the territory away and dealing with these mountainous regions down here to the south. Instead of continuing to deal with those, though, they decide to go up towards the Caspian and make a beeline for Tehran up here. They take the city, and in taking the city, they force the capitulation of Iran. Instead of taking all of Iran for itself and making a huge headache, they decide to take just a few pieces of it. Turkey just decides to take southern Azerbaijan and much of the oil-producing provinces to the east of the Euphrates River. And that about does it for Turkey. Turkey has gone from a medium-sized country in Anatolia to a large empire controlling a dominant position in the Middle East. That is what Simple Empires is all about. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like it. Anyways, I'll see you next time as we create another empire in Simple Empires.